What is going on, and welcome back to Rebel Rescue with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. As you can see, the camera is back, so I'm here, back with you again. You can see the beautiful face is back. As you can see, we're going to run the intro in a second, but we're taking on Partizan in today's episode to see if we can make it to the final part of the qualifying rounds for the Champions League. Hopefully, we can get past Partizan and make it to the point where we can make a bunch of money. So if you do want to enjoy this episode, do of course make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. So fellas, not an awful lot has happened since we were here last. We've drawn the next round of the Champions League, where if we can beat Partizan, we take on Slovan Bratislava or Slavia Praha, which should be an interesting one. I think Partizan, from what the media were saying, should be a close game. We do play at home in the first leg, and the only game that you've missed was a 3-0 victory over struggling Shamrock Rovers this season. And we do play Waterford in the in-between bits, so it's a League Cup semi-final. Probably will just throw... Yeah, it's not important. Might just throw like a rotated side out for that. We have had a few transfers since we were here last. Messinho actually had an offer of a loan with an option to buy from Guangzhou. Kind of wish I took it. We decided against it. But Deng Bon is going back to China. He's going to Guangzhou City. So that's fantastic for him. We are making 2 signings. John Nugent is coming in from Bohemians. 5-star potential, has scored quite a number of goals, has the fantastic love heart attribute Polygon, which hopefully we can take advantage of, because he is supposedly better than Colin Whelan, which, you know, if he can do that, that'll be fantastic. And he has played the under-21s for Ireland. We're also signing a Chinese striker who is an actual Chinese international. Attributes look amazing. One thing I would say is the last time he played in Europe, he played for the Bayern Munich's second team, played 25 games, scored 1 goal, only 4 starts, but still, that's and it was a penalty. So we haven't signed any other players, but we have sold Alan Murphy to Chelsea, where his value is now, let's say, 135,000 to 1.3 million here. I think it's like almost 30 million, so that's pretty decent for him. And Lazaro Luque has gone to a third group 18. I don't know what any of that means, but he's playing lower league Spanish football, so fantastic for him, I guess. We are the only Irish team left in Europe. All the other teams have already been knocked out, which is just delightful to see. Because, you know, it's just fantastic. It's great when every team in your country gets knocked out in the first or second qualifying round. We are literally flying the flag for Ireland. So we have a number of players unregistered for this, so I'm not going to worry too much about them. Just, you know, it's whatever. We are playing pretty decently recently. Ormeno is back into the first team now, because we don't have a centre midfielder who is blocking his way anymore. Alan Murphy was quite possibly the best midfielder we've had to this point, and potentially the best midfielder we will ever have. So I'm just going to tell the lads to pick up where they left off last time, because if we can play as well as we did against Partizan, as we did against Shamrock Rovers, we'll win this game at an absolute canter. We are going to kick off, and Carlsberg, first thing we see is Duna head just wide, or Duca, not Duna, Dan Duca head just wide, but now Carlsberg with a free kick. Duca heads it just over again. We did get a penalty in the game against Shamrock Rovers, which was just a little bit harsh, in my opinion. If I was the referee, I probably wouldn't have given it. It looked soft, but then again, it is FM, and the 3D models, as we're all aware, can be a little bit hit or miss. not necessarily what you're seeing on screen is what's happening in the game. So it could have been an obvious one. Could also have just been a really interesting not foul. But we will never know the truth because unless they fix it, we'll never see what actually happens. We do seem to be piling the pressure on, but we're not getting anything out of the game yet. And Onofriti was a bit lazy there. Colin Whelan has been a little bit poor so far. He's had a couple of shots that just doesn't seem to be getting all the way behind. But he is unhappy at the club as well because of Alan Murphy's sale. He threw a little bit of a strop that he wants him replacing, and I was like, "Oh, Ormeno," just walked straight in, and he was like, "Ormeno is not good enough." So it's great to see my 60 goal a season striker really getting behind the midfielder that I think is going to be the one to take Alan Murphy's place, which Ormeno hasn't really shown today. This is the home leg as well. This is the one we should be dominating. We are dominating. We're just not getting goals. But speaking of, Colin Whelan from a corner, poor clearance, puts it into the back of the net, and we are now 1-up just before halftime, which I would have preferred if we were maybe 2-0 up before halftime. But I'll take Colin Whelan poking the ball in to the back of the net from just inside the area. There's a lot of shots on target. I'm happy, but I'm also pointing my finger at them, being like, don't fuck around. Vincent Day is having a poor game. Not ideal. We do have Clement Gauthier on the bench if he needs to come on. He can only play 45 minutes because he is still recovering from his injury, but did get like 25 minutes against Shamrock Rovers. Just brought him on to give him a little bit of time, see if he could, do something. Two centre backs are playing the ball to each other out on the wing. It'd be nice if one of you got back to where you're supposed to be. Oh, what a shot by Carlsberg. Carlsberg absolutely stings the goalkeeper's hands, so much so that he just pushes it into the back of the net. Get in. Coleman and Duca passing the ball around to each other. Jean and Vestergaard back to Duca. Carlsberg turns. It did look like a thunderous effort, but the keeper really, really should have done better there. Just saying, I don't know. I've never played goalkeeper for too long. Did play the on time, but I wasn't, more of a left inverted wing back on the left or a right back. But I did prefer playing a left back. But I think that seemed a little bit soft. We're going to bring Derek Sullivan on to play in central midfield for Ormeno. Vestergaard's quite tired actually as well, so we probably take him off. Move Onofriti into central midfield. Put Misa out on the right. Onofriti can be an attacking midfielder. Jean can be the advanced playmaker on support in central midfield because that suits him more. And we shall leave that that as our final two substitutions for now. We have a little bit of time before we need to make any more changes. Quigley is dying, so we could bring Gauthier on to play on the right. Onofriti wins the ball. Interesting pass to Gail Misa. Vincent Day picks it up. Onofriti back to Vincent Day. Jean gets dispossessed, but Vincent Day is there. The ex-non-league left back playing in the Champions League. Oh, Colin Whelan, it's taken a deflection. It has indeed. It's gone behind for a corner. Again, the away fans in the shed end. This is not how Turner's Cross looks, but that's fine. Also, there's a pub here, not a big screen. We're going to make our final substitution. Roy Quigley can come off for Gauthier, so you can see what he can do. Cause, to be honest, I've not really seen too much from him. This will be... He probably will have played about 35 minutes. And that's the first time I've seen him with the ball. So, nice change up. Misa finds Gauthier. Through for Derek Sullivan. Gets the ball across. Keeper palms it out and nobody takes advantage of it. Carlsberg and Onofriti just kind of fuck around for a little bit. Duca. Duca finds Vincent Day. Back to Duca. Shan. Misa. Colin Whelan. Oh, he's put it wide. Oh, it just kicked my PC. To be honest, I'll take a 2-1 or 2-1. No, not 2-1. 2-0. That's about what I was expecting, but we've been so dominant that I didn't expect us to be this dominant over Partizan. Colin Whelan does find the back net to make it 3, so that's even better. I'll take that as well. I'll take a 3-0. 3-0 is better than 2-0 when you're winning, not when you're losing. Yeah, so that is fun. They wanted me to take Carlsberg off for O'Brien. Take off a winger to bring on a centre back. Interesting call. Don't think I'd be doing it. We're going to just tell everyone who played well. Vincent Day ended up playing fantastically. He was shocking at the start. But that's fantastic. We will be back in just a second for the second leg against Partizan, where 3-0 up, hopefully we don't bottle it and end up losing 4-3 or 7-3, which would be even worse. We did lose a game 7-0 recently, didn't we? Was it against... No, was it? Did we? Yeah, we did. I think it was the Europa League knockouts that we lost. We lost substantially. So we will be back in just a second for the second leg again. Right, fellas, it is now time for us to take on Partizan in the second leg. In the game in between, we rotated the side decently well. It wasn't a full rotation, but we brought a decent amount of players in for this game. Beat Waterford 3-0. Last goal was scored in the 22nd minute by ex-Waterford striker Ono Sene. Jumber also played in goal. He had a fantastic game. And by fantastic, I mean he barely touched the ball. Waterford had 2 shots, 1 on target, and a .01 XG. So in the first half, they had a .00 XG from 1 shot. So don't know what they were doing. Obviously, it didn't work out too well for them, regardless. You might have seen Slavia Prague beat Slovan Bratislava in their game. So there's a chance that we'll be taking on a Czech team to make it into the Champions League. That would be nice. Wouldn't mind playing against Bratislava. Don't normally get to play Slovakian sides. So, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I don't think there's any changes for this game from the last one ye saw. I did, as I said, made a number of changes. 4. Jamovic, Admirola, and Osene, along with Jumber coming in. And I think they all did quite well. To be fair, Admirola is a guy who played in England fairly... I suppose he didn't really actually, but he's an under-21 international, so I think that's quite important when you look at who's looked unbeatable in goal. Every goalkeeper has a weakness. Yeah, I was thinking about it as well in between. The fact that Luke Keane and Alan Murphy were the 2 players so far that have been signed by top English sides is somewhat unexpected. Oh, Carlsberg shot just pushed wide by the goalkeeper. It's somewhat unexpected. I honestly thought Ryan Coleman would have been the man that would have been taken away from us, but he has somehow survived. I'm not complaining about it, but somewhat unexpected. Also, Quigley is now being linked with an Irish call-up, which will be nice, because he's been a very good servant, even though he didn't play much. First, it was too forceful against Carlsberg. Didn't look like he did anything wrong, but that's acceptable, I guess. Whelan puts the ball in the back of the net. We are 4-0 up on aggregate, 1-0 on the night. Fan Dabidosi, Expialidocious, Colin Whelan. Get in, my friend. We do need to keep an eye on the Slavia Prague game. For obvious reasons, that is the team we are potentially playing in the next round. Vestergaard is put through. Oh, he's hit the post from a stupidly tight angle. That's unfortunate. Puts the ball into row Z. How are we getting on, Simon? Hoping I could see the score. It's not popping up here, so it's not happened. There's nothing happened recently in the game. Setford has set Whelan free though. Cynical foul. Doesn't get a booking. Interesting. I would have thought that would have been a booking, but that's fine, I guess. Partizan, that is a very well worked throw in, but to be fair, there was was 5 Partizan players in and around kind of the throw area, which is somewhat unexpected. I think I saw Slavia Prague and Bratislava were 1-1, which could make it for an interesting time for who we play in the next leg, in the next round, I mean. Should probably, use my words. It is 1-0. Colin Whelan's got himself booked. I find and Yannick Jean have gotten booked as well. What are my players doing that they both got booked fairly quickly? Whelan puts the ball in the back of the net. That was too easy. Where was Whelan? Was making that was a bit of a tight situation for an offside, but it's fine. We'll take all the advantages that we're given. Partizan have already made 3 substitutions. Onofriti's not having a fantastic game, which is very unlike him. I think he might just be potentially getting bullied on the wing there. Oh, Coleman, Jesus Christ, buddy, calm down. Or maybe, is he one of the players that had a yellow card accumulation and is trying to get rid of it? That's potential. Maybe that's... Oh, Jean beautifully stopped Coleman's pass. Just a little bit too heavy. Goes all the way to the Partizan goalkeeper. Coleman just kind of... I'll get... No, I missed. Never mind. We have a corner to defend, which I would have been happy if that went in. That would have been a beautiful goal. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Gonna make some changes. Do we bought Atienza. We haven't really given a huge amount of opportunities to. And we're gonna bring Henry Francis on, but make him a ball winning midfielder. And Jean can play as the advanced playmaker in the number 10 position. Henry Francis, he's fine. He's fine. Yeah, I was going to say Vincent Day and Duca kind of got each other screwed. Like Vincent Day went central, Duca went out wide, and then they both just kind of didn't really know what they were doing. So neither of them were in position when it came time for us to try and defend. Bit annoying, but it's fine. They want my attacking midfielder to man mark one of their central midfielders. Sometimes I wonder what my assistant manager is thinking, but Carlsberg puts us back in the lead. If you haven't signed Carlsberg, you have to. This guy is so good, and he's a Faroese international. Not at the start of the game, but he does become one fairly sharpish into the game. It took him a little bit longer this time, but I think it's because we're a slightly lower reputation side. Normally we do sign him for a higher reputation. Like, I know Durag wasn't like, best team in the world last year, but we did get a hold of him fairly early on. Along with Versace, who was a very I think he was one of my better signings, to be honest. We're going to take Jean off because he's actually dying out on the pitch. We're going to bring Ralyachenko on to play up front because, we don't need more goals. So we're winning this game. We're 4 goals up on aggregate. Might as well pop a second striker on. Well, that's the worst that could happen. It would be nice if, Partizan got the ball forward or gave up the ball. Okay, so they got the ball forward and gave it up. So that's fine. That's fine by me. I'll take it. Either way, that's worked out fantastically. Give the lads a bit of praise. We're doing fantastic. Their left wing back is not having a great game, but for some reason Onofriti also wasn't having a great game. Carlsberg has put the ball in the back of the net again, and it's been given. I thought he might have been offside. Atienza with the assist. Atienza. If Colin Whelan wasn't at this club, I think he would be our star striker. And the fact we have 2 more first team player strikers coming in next season probably spells the end of a lot of our strikers' careers at the club anyway. But Paul Carlsberg, absolutely spectacular. Colin Whelan, or whatever. Colin Whelan's just in a pissy mood. I wouldn't worry too much about him at the minute because he's just infuriating. Anyway, so that's where we're going to leave it. You might have noticed who we're playing in the next round. I didn't, so it's going to be a surprise for me, and it'll be a surprise for you. So I'm going to find out once the saving screen ends, but you're not, because I'm going to be gone before then. So if you have enjoyed this episode, do of course make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and I will catch you in the next one.